ready, we ready, we ready for y'all. We ready, we ready.
Nobody asked you to do that. Maybe knows what I'm talking about. Uh-oh.
Oh
And
no.
just like that. And just like that. I mean, of course, it was too hot up in here. She had to go. So this is episode Caliente. Am I saying
Hey.
Caliente? A show of hot topics, and it doesn't match, I think, the theme of what we're going to be talking about today, because May is the month in which we talk more about mental health. At least we should be talking more about mental health. We don't always do that. EJ, at some point, we'll be, honey girl, we're going to get you back into the fold here and get you back on stage. There's always one in the group. I'm glad it's not me. How you doing, Miss Kennedy?
Oh, I'm having a day, but it is giving my heart lots of joy to be here on the couch. And I think we've got a jam-packed discussion waiting for people today. And Mental Health Month is always a misnomer to me, because every month is Mental Health Month for me, especially as a mental health first aider and an ambassador for AFSP. I literally just led a Out of Darkness.
I'm going to break you of these acronyms. Nobody knows what AFSP is.
Well, if they don't, they should know about the American Association for Suicide Prevention. Hello.
Okay.
So I've been an ambassador for 15 years, and I often lead Out of the Darkness walks on college campuses. And it's just to raise awareness for students who are struggling with mental health, who have had suicide ideation, and who also have overcome sort of the living in that space. And now they want to share their story and be a light for other people who are struggling. We also walk for the survivors of family members who have died by suicide. And we support them in various ways and raise funds to continue prevention. So for me, it's not a 1 month thing. It is all year round. And I hope it is for a lot of the people who will be joining us today.
Well, part of the reason I think why we have a month dedicated, because it's something we don't always talk about. And it's not something that is a comfortable conversation in many cultures, in many age groups, in many organizations, in many families. It's just not something that is as mainstream as other types of illnesses. Welcome back to the show. First time caller, shot caller, EJ.
Y'all did that on purpose. You set me up. You set me up. You set me up.
Yes. Welcome to the show. Listen, and just in time, I'm going to bring to the stage Miss Izzy Atkinson. Izzy, welcome to the pink couch.
Thank you. Izzy, you see they started already? Did you see that? You are my witness.
Don't fall into the trap, Izzy.
No, don't. We're gonna stay.
Izzy, go ahead.
So I don't know how that's an us problem that you somehow got disconnected. I don't know how that is. But we digress.
They didn't like.
We don't have a lot of time.
Get to talking, Robin, your government name. Go ahead.
I know. I don't even know who that is. I don't hear that name often. So Izzy, I was talking to Izzy before. I said, how should I introduce you? And she's like, I don't know. She's like, I'm multi-hyphenated. And I was like, that she is, because there's so many commas. She's a she's an artist, she's a model, she's a creative, she's a get your life type of person. So she's all the things. But what brings her to the Pink Couch today is an amazing event that she created, curated, directed, produced, is launching on Friday, called The Cost of Silence. And I mean, this is just all the things which you can get to. The Cost of Silence. We'll put the link in the across the screen. But this is amazing art installation that you designed that is going to be in Ocean Beach on Friday, one night only, one night only. So Izzy, welcome, and tell me, what is this Cost of Silence? What is it? What does it mean?
Thank you for the warm welcome. So the Cost of Silence, it was really born from lived experiences and feeling really strongly around creating awareness around mental health and about amplifying women's voices and women's stories. When I was much younger, in my early 20s, I used to host mental health meetups in the city of Boston, Mass. And these were free initiatives to bring women together, to talk around mental health, to work through shame, and just to normalize the things that we experience in life. And so I went through a wild journey in 2025 during a very big growth period of my life that was really challenging when I was transitioning here to California. And ultimately, the Cost of Silence was born through a lot of pain, a lot of darkness, coming out of an abusive relationship dynamic, and just hitting rock bottom in so many ways and wanting to bring light to that story. So it's grown into something a lot bigger, actually, than I ever could have imagined in the best way possible. But it really is about helping us bring to light a lot of the things that we feel are unseen that we go through.
Awesome. And so why did you decide to do this now?
It's a great question.
I'm a great question asker. I do it for a living.
I love this question because it's been asked actually a lot lately for me.
Oh, well, dang, I need another one.
No, I haven't really answered it yet.
Okay.
I was thinking about this the other day and thinking about some words I'm going to speak on Friday at this event and installation. And why now? And it's funny because I do believe things in life, we go on paths for certain reasons and we have certain experiences. And I come from a very creative family. I've always been naturally artistic in all of these different things. When I was moving out here to San Diego, I kept feeling this calling of, I want to expand in that way. And I have no idea what that looks like. And so one day I'm working out at the gym. I have this idea come to my mind of, I've been modeling, but I'd actually love to create art and have something be meaningful. So when I think about why is this happening today? It's really that I've grown into the woman that was ready to be seen in this capacity. I think I've grown enough that I was ready to show this part of my identity and step into it and take up space in this way.
I mean, this is a very personal story that you are sharing with the world, because we are a global platform seen from DC to Virginia. So, how brave and bold, what in you allowed that to be so?
I think it's continuing when we are on journeys with ourselves of growing and evolving and finding our voice and going through different life experiences. It really was for me after going through so many challenges and being able to pick myself up through them, that I just felt more ready to take up this space. And I think that a lot of times that's a muscle, especially I feel as women, we have to learn to flex. Mm-hmm. And so through many experiences the last year and a half and being in a new place and just going through so many different things, I was really learning to continue to flex that muscle. And it's something that I believe when we stand in our power, when we share our gifts, when we share different things we go through, we're giving other people permission to do the same thing. And so I felt really strongly that where there's a will, there's a way. I'm ready to take up space like this and show other women they can do the same thing, even if I have no background in doing this. like zero background in doing this. And so it's been really incredible to see how much it's also spoke to other women of, you know, who's Izzy to do this? And she's doing this, and it's powerful, and we're being moved by it, and we see ourselves in the story that she's telling. So it's been beautiful to see how it's impacted other women already.
So, Izzy, we talk a lot about permission versus forgiveness, right? So, who gave you permission? Because you talked about this whole. So, what gave you the courage to actually accept the permission from yourself?
Such a good question. For me, it does come back to that part of being seen. And I believed in myself enough after going through so many things that I said, I trust myself enough to take up space in this way. I think that a lot of times giving ourselves permission also does come with self-trust. And can I trust how I'm going to feel being seen? Can I trust if I'm rejected in this concept? Can I trust if it doesn't pan out the way that I thought? I have just built up so much internal safety and self-trust in that way that I just said, I'm ready. And I say this a lot to women, but a lot of times we have that feeling of I'm ready, but then we second guess it and don't act on it. This was truly something for me where I said, I'm ready. And I just immediately took a step towards it. And then the next step happened, and they just kept presenting themselves.
So Izzy, in terms of impact and legacy and the things that I like to think about when I'm really passionate about something and I'm digging my heels in, like, where do you see the cost of silence going? What do you hope happens when, you know, even after this installation is complete and you move on to something else, but still within the cost of silence? What do you hope happens in the world?
Yeah, I hope a few things. I hope from the experience itself on Friday, there's a very mixed group coming. It's not just women, which I love. And I really hope that what people take away from it is how important human connection is more than ever today, and connecting over real, meaningful things that happen in our lives. We're in a time where there's so much technology and everything, right? And a lot of noise. And so really helping people come back to their heart and humanity and the power of connection and community. And then when I think of the cost of silence, I really do see this expanding into something that other women can walk through this experience. So while I don't have all the details ironed out yet, I would love for this to become something where a woman gets to go through this experience of telling her story in some capacity and thinking about what does the cost of silence mean to her, and what does it look like to reclaim her voice, or maybe share a part of her story that she never has before. You know, sharing an emotion through photography. There's so many different outlets within this installation. And so I really do see the impact being that this opens doors for other women to step into this and share themselves.
Great. How does someone support you this Friday?
Coming to the installation would be amazing. It's this Friday. It's in Ocean Beach at Shift Gallery. It's from 7 to 9. It's going to be an incredible experience. There'll be food, there'll be drinks, but we're going to have a live poetry reading, live music. There's going to be a short film played. There's a beautiful photography exhibit. We have some really powerful speakers. So it's really going to activate, as I say, all the different senses. So yeah, coming on Friday would be amazing. Otherwise, finding me, you know, here in the community in San Diego.
And where can people find you on social?
People can find me on my website, which is izzyatkinson.com. And then people can also find me on my social media. My Instagram is izzy.atkinson. I'm always sharing on both of those things, different things I'm up to. I teach breath work. I do a lot of different things in the community in San Diego. So people can find all of my whereabouts on both of those platforms.
Excellent. Excellent. Thank you for joining us, Izzy. Good seeing you again.
Having me.
Good luck on Friday.
Thank you all. Thank you so much.
All right. Take care.
Take care.
Bye.
Well, that's a good segue over to from the cost of silence to mastering the art of looking fine. I get Mary J. Fine, fine. I wish I could sing. Ooh. Anyway, go ahead.
Your heart was in the right place.
It was. It was.
Maybe not.
We all bopped to it. It was a bop. We've all, I think, especially the three of us on this call, have mastered the art of looking fine, but it's not just us, right? It is generally something that we just do as a people. And, I think it also is a situation for high achieving people more so than anyone else, right? We know that we need to keep the ball moving. We need to keep moving forward. We've got 52 plates in the air and they need to continue to spin. And we feel like we don't have time to actually stop, pause, and not be fine. So we've mastered the art of covering that up, right? And conditioning ourselves to curate this image that signals that we are always well, that we are always okay, and we don't need help. Mm. And so when we think about the fact that this is Mental Health Month, right? The silence in that, the silence in looking like we're fine all the time is very dangerous. I ain't gonna point nobody out on this call. I just want to know what your experience is with mastering the art of looking fine, and why do we feel like that's the thing that we need to do?
Who are you talking to?
I can start. I don't think I am not summa cum laude in mastering the art of looking fine. My exterior matches my interior from my perspective. My hair looks like, oh, I'm way over for a hairdo. Skin looks bad. My energy is I don't think I've mastered that. I do think I am typically the one that people come to burden their challenges or their problems to, and so the art of that is not to steal the spotlight. And I've tried a few times and get the spotlight snatched right back. I was like, okay, I'll just sit over here and suffer in silence. Suffer in silence, but let my face look like a hot butter mess that it is. But suffer in silence.
Well, why does silence become the default?
For me, it's a sometimes when how when you were sick, when you were little and you're about to pray to the porcelain god, and the moment your mother comes and like touches your back, you just release everything. you let it all go. And for me, when I need to share, sometimes I don't want that to happen. I don't want to let it all go. Mm-hmm. And or I don't want the reaction, like you just made it 10 times worse. Right. Or, oh my God, not looking for that. Yes, I know you're just adding to I'm looking for what do you need? What's happening? And so, and sometimes I just don't know the words yet. Sometimes it's imagery. Sometimes it's oh my God. Sorry, I was thinking about you, Ashley. Sometimes it's just some of these other things that just take over, and I don't yet have the words to put, the voice to put to what I'm feeling.
Mm-hmm. I live in the land of compartmentalization. Mm-hmm. And part of that is, and it's funny you said, why silence? Because the overtaking of what the emotion will be, if you fully let it ride out, is sometimes paralyzing.
Yeah.
So therefore, there's so much that is, I don't have the luxury sometimes of looking what I feel like. Mm. And I also grew up in the school of fake it till you make it, figure it out. Yeah. And I have learned to, and it not always, but I have learned to will myself into what I want it to be. Mm-hmm. I feel like under the foot gum doggy doo-doo that has been freeze dried and backward over with the dump truck, Not that I've thought about it. However, I have decided, you know what I'm going to be is joy, and what is on my face is what I'm going to, 5 minutes from now, I'm going to feel what this is that I'm faking. And I will convince myself that that is where I am. Doesn't mean that when the compartments come back open and they pop back open, I don't feel those things that were there, but I can move myself to the place that I need to be functional.
That's so interesting, because most people, when I ask that question, they go to the external, reasons why they don't say something or they don't match what they're actually going through. And you went to the internal. So it's more about self-preservation for you than it is about feeling like there's a betrayal of the brand you've created of being the strong woman, right? That a lot of us carry, which I thought was really interesting.
Those times I can't fool with y'all. I got what's going on.
And for me, I don't necessarily care about the brand as much as just I got to pick my number. I got to take my number, because my woe is on the scale of 1 to 10. Again, I never want to discount anybody's woe. Like, why is this person worrying about this right now when there's people over here dying? But I do find myself doing the same thing. Like the fact that I want to commit a homicide with my general contractor is on a scale of 1 to 10. That's like real for me. Hopefully there's no police people watching, but or maybe so. I'm at this point. I feel like I'd get a pass. I'd get a mulligan.
Run, Cletus, run.
No, run slow. Actually, he might run backwards.
Wow.
That would be
whichever way he runs, it won't be on time.
It won't be on time or budget.
Or on budget.
So, can we get a whole show on that? Yeah. So, the compartmentalization, I think that's a common woman trait, and I think I'm a pro mom, so it's going to go common mother trait, because there's the face that you need to put on for your mom, being mom duties. There's the face that you need to put on for other with work, if you're leading teams. There's so many different pockets where you don't want to be breaking down in front of your children, because they'll do it too.
Yeah. Have you thought about how this sort of trickles into the workplace, right? Because as a leader, we've sort of been conditioned to not show up in the way that we are, if that way is any different than looking fine, right? And I just wonder, when my do something around this is to let your face match your space, right? But that might be difficult depending on what space you're in. I still believe that you have to be in places where you can let your face match your space. You have to be, not to fall apart, not to show too much vulnerability in the boardroom or anything like that, but to stop spending so much energy on managing everyone else's perception of whatever you're feeling and going through, to actually go through it. And I often feel like when we can't do it for ourselves, we find a way to do it for the person who needs permission to do it for themselves, right? Because performing is exhausting.
Yes, it is. And you don't get
it's what you love.
I don't get paid for it. I'm not part of the the Screen Actors Guild. I don't get paid for performing. Not like that. Not like that. And work is not work. Every place I've ever worked will say the right things. Oh, if you need somebody, we should be a place of safety. Lies and fairy tales. You expose that, you are something wrong with you, girl. Something wrong. We can't put her in the room with other humans. We can't know. You can't know something wrong with you. That's not a good look. It's not a good corporate look. That's not what we do. And I think a lot of that is we just have not normalized this conversation at all. And I always go to when someone has cancer or has a heart issue or has, you know, some some physical health, we never tell people to snap out of it. We don't judge people for it. Over there with that cancer, really get serious. We don't do that.
Right.
And mental health, this is something that every single human, whether it is chronic or episodic,
Yep.
will deal with mental health. Period. It is a great unifier, and we don't even talk about it. We don't normalize it. It's not part of. We have, you know, lactation rooms. We should have sometimes I need a padded room with a few bricks and a bat.
And
And
somebody who won't judge me for sucking my thumb. I'm just saying.
exactly. The bat, let me just be clear, I'm not promoting workplace violence. But if there is a copier machine in there where I could print out something that I could take a bat, even if it's a wiffle bat, because I might end up hurting myself with a real bat.
So it's funny because you raised something that goes back to tying together what both of you were talking, because these compartments, right? And this is why the compartments have to stay compartmentalized. Otherwise, you talk about all the topics that are going. I'm thinking about cancer. I'm thinking about aging parents. I'm thinking about the hantavirus. I'm thinking about, Ozempic. Don't ask. We'll talk later. I'm thinking about money. I'm thinking about what is my truth. And I'm thinking about time. Did I mention I'm thinking about money, and money and time go together? And then it all goes back to those viruses and cancer and all of those things tying together, because in my mind, there is so much. One, I hate cancer. I hate everything about cancer.
Cancer is.
I hate everything about it.
Cancer
And
yeah.
So when you're talking about these, diseases and the physical diseases and ailments that folks are having, and it is consuming people, and literally consuming people, and living through that with several people right now, and it is gutting me. And so thinking about, okay, that kicks me back to time. It takes me back to time. How are we using the precious time that we have? What are you doing with that time? Then I go back to money, because everything comes back to money. I grew up, I'm Nigerian. We think in dollar bills and naira. So money is my second language. And it also terrifies me, right? So it's, should I be doing this? When should I be doing this? Am I doing the right things for the kids? Am I not doing the right thing? What about for myself? I don't want to work for the rest of my life, but what does that look like? But I do want to do the things that I enjoy doing. Where is my money going? How am I making it grow? And by the way, am I actually letting it grow? Because I'm afraid of everything that they tell me. Because if my money goes away and I lose it, I'm coming for everybody. Therefore, this fear part, but then I'm losing time on what the money could do and grow and do all the. So it's all of these things are tied together. And so if you let the compartments open, because I opened them for a minute, you leave the compartments open, all of these things are going, and it's paralyzing. It's absolutely
your compartments are on a whole different level.
And I know they're not designer, so at least you can enjoy them while you're unpacking them. I
have a designer section. It just doesn't get touched very often because I don't want it to be ailed. Now I know when I can go back there again and replenish it. So I'm trying to tell you that goes back to the money and the time.
And in full circle. And in conclusion, cancer is an asshole.
Those are my closing remarks. But I guess where I am in all of this, and just building on the conversation and coming back to do something.
Mm-hmm.
Do something. Stop procrastinating.
Mm-hmm.
Make that. And for me, it's the holding accountable. I made an accountability promise to some folks that said, oh, this money conversation, I'm going to get this in order. I have 1 year to make measurable difference from where I was when I met them. I have 1 year. You can't dare me. And then I can't show. So it's eating me up, and I'm having, but it's that force of stop procrastinating. Try. Guess what? If you fail, you don't have to fail big. I'm not going to do everything all in one juncture, but I can try and see where it goes. So my do something is just do it. Make the call. If you want that conversation where you want to lovingly cuss somebody out, call them, lovingly cuss them out, and then love on them back because you have the time to do that. Do it.
Loving cuss. Give me
Yeah,
a,
what does that look like?
give me just a little soundbite of a loving cuss. Dear, fill in blank.
Dear fill in the blank.
Mm-hmm.
The world does not always revolve around you.
Mm-hmm.
Try asking somebody else, are you okay? Or can I have? Would you like a sip of water from the cup that I'm drinking from as I'm taking everything from you and pouring nothing else back? Just take a moment and think. And if I don't pick up your phone calls, it probably is because I've had my fill of you right now. I still love you, but I need some space. I love you. And that's it for me for now. Talk to you later. And that is a loving send you on your way.
Child, then that means I am an overachiever because I do that probably once a week with somebody.
Well, and there are a plethora of people who don't. So all that said, we at the end of the day, I think we need to figure out how we take care of ourselves. How are we taking care of ourselves? Because if we are not pouring into and filling and doing those things for us, that is what's going to bring joy and spread it to everyone around us. So, Kenny, you don't look like your situation, and I appreciate it. Now, when you made that face, you might have showed us a little crack of it. So come on back. Netta, that blue in those lips, I'm not feeling your situation.
Because
right?
you see my roots. That's why.
It's all good. You don't know what color my roots are.
Roots is like, my roots is saying, some girl, you in danger, girl.
You know, you got Whoopi in my head. I just want you to know that has been playing. I have Ghost soundtrack playing in my head.
Yeah.
But we got this, and on to the next, because guess what? Life is going to continue to life, and we're here for the ride.
Roll that beautiful bean footage.
Is that B? Is there a C selection?
Hi, girl.
Doom, doom, doom.